The day you stop waiting for someone to save you is the day you finally meet the strongest version of yourself. When you wake up in the morning, before the noise of the world floods your mind, there is a moment when your soul whispers who you truly are. But most of us never hear that whisper because the world has taught us to turn up the volume on everything except ourselves. We rush into the day carrying expectations that were handed to us long before we learned how to question them. We scroll through other people's lives before we even check in with our own hearts. We walk through our days performing versions of ourselves that we don't even recognize anymore. And slowly, without even noticing, we forget the most sacred truth, the power to choose ourselves. Choosing yourself is not selfishness, it is not arrogance, it is not an act of rebellion against the world. Choosing yourself is an act of coming home. It is the moment you reclaim the right to exist without apology. It is the moment you stop asking for permission to breathe, to dream, to rest, to heal, to be. It is the moment you look at your reflection and say, I matter, my voice matters, my story matters, my dreams matter, I am enough. And for many of us, especially in a country as fast, ambitious, and demanding as the United States, this realization feels like a revolution. We are raised in a culture that celebrates strength, but does not always teach us softness. A culture that pushes us to succeed, but rarely reminds us to pause. A culture that encourages independence, yet leaves many silently battling loneliness. You learn to show your achievements, but hide your pain. You learn to smile in public and break in private. You learn to be everything for everyone, yet forget to be something for yourself. That is why choosing yourself becomes such a profound act. It interrupts the cycle. It rewrites the story. It gives you back your life. You see, for so long we are taught to be chosen. We wait to be selected for opportunities, for love, for validation. We wait for someone else to say we are worthy. We wait for someone else to open a door, to give us a chance to acknowledge our potential. But the truth is, the day you stop waiting and choose yourself is the day everything around you begins to shift. Your energy changes, your standards rise, your boundaries strengthen, your inner voice grows louder than the world's noise. Choosing yourself means you stop shrinking to make others comfortable. It means you stop betraying yourself just to keep someone else warm. It means you stop letting fear dictate your future. It means you stop just surviving and start living. Yes, the world may not applaud when you finally choose yourself. People may not understand. Some may even walk away because your growth threatens their comfort. But that is not your burden to carry. Choosing yourself means understanding that not everyone is meant to walk with you into your next chapter. Some were only meant to teach you a paragraph. There will be days when choosing yourself means saying no to something you once said yes to 100 times. There will be days when choosing yourself means walking away from a job that pays well but drains your soul. There will be days when choosing yourself means leaving a relationship where your heart is starving for the love you keep giving away. There will be days when choosing yourself means standing alone while the world questions your decisions. But I promise you, those days will build you, they will shape you, they will wake you up to the life you deserve, because the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot show up for your family, for your work, for your dreams, for your future, when you have abandoned your present self. You cannot inspire others if you've forgotten how to inspire your own heart. Choosing yourself does not mean you stop loving people. It means you stop losing yourself in the process of loving them. America is a land of stories. Stories of courage, resilience, ambition, reinvention. But the greatest reinvention you will ever experience is the one that happens inside you. You don't need a new city, a new job, or a new season to start over. You need a new decision. A decision that says, I am no longer available for anything that diminishes who I am becoming. I am no longer postponing my happiness for a future that may never arrive. I am no longer waiting for someone else to choose me. I choose myself, here, now, fully, deeply, boldly. You might be carrying wounds that no one sees. You might be grieving losses you never talk about. You might be fighting battles you cannot explain. You might be tired in a way sleep cannot fix, and still you rise. Still you show up, still you keep going. That strength alone is a reason to choose yourself. You deserve the same love, patience, and compassion you give to everyone else. You deserve the softness you offer the world. You deserve the forgiveness you extend to others. You deserve the understanding you give even to those who didn't earn it. Choosing yourself is an act of healing. It is acknowledging the scars you tried to hide. It is giving yourself permission to rest. It is allowing your heart to open again after it has been broken. It is believing that your future can still be beautiful even if your past was painful. It is embracing the truth that you are not damaged, you are becoming. And the day you choose yourself, something magical happens. You stop chasing love and start attracting it. You stop begging for opportunities and start creating them. You stop explaining your worth and start embodying it. You stop trying to fit into places where you were never meant to belong. You stop fighting for people who are at peace with losing you. You stop apologizing for being who you are. You stop adjusting your boundaries to meet someone else's comfort level. You stop abandoning your inner voice just to please the outer world. Choosing yourself isn't a destination. It's a practice, a commitment, a promise you make every single day. A promise that says, I will show up for myself even when it's difficult. I will honor my peace even when chaos surrounds me. I will trust my journey even when the path is unclear. I will believe in my worth even when others don't. I will continue becoming even when the world tries to hold me back. You continue to grow in the quiet moments when no one is watching. You grow in the silence after a heartbreak, in the stillness after a setback, in the calm that follows a storm. You grow every time you choose peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and self-respect over self-doubt. Choosing yourself is not loud, it is gentle, it is not dramatic, it is steady. It is not a sudden transformation. It is a slow unfolding, like a flower learning to open again after a long winter. And just like that flower, you do not bloom because someone watered you. You bloom because you finally learned how to water yourself. But let me tell you something truthfully, choosing yourself will test you. It will challenge the beliefs you inherited. It will force you to confront the stories you've been telling yourself for years. It will push you outside the comfort zones that once felt like homes. It will require you to leave behind versions of yourself that once protected you, but now limit you. Growth demands sacrifice. Sometimes the sacrifice is people, sometimes it is habits, sometimes it is old identities, and sometimes the sacrifice is the comfort of who you used to be. Many people stay trapped in lives that don't belong to them because they fear change more than they fear regret. They fear starting over. They fear what others will say. They fear the unknown. But choosing yourself means you learn to fear something far bigger, the cost of abandoning your own soul. You learn to fear living a life that is too small for your spirit. You learn to fear waking up years later realizing that you lived for everyone else but never for yourself. Fear can either be the cage that keeps you still or the fire that pushes you forward. You get to choose. In America, so many people define themselves by what they do, by their jobs, titles, achievements, bank accounts, awards, but the truth is you are not what you do. You are who you are becoming. You are not the role you play. You are the soul underneath it. You are not your productivity. You are your presence, and the day you choose yourself is the day you stop identifying your worth with your output. You realize that you are valuable simply because you exist. This world will try to convince you that the best version of you is the one that is strong, unbroken, unshaken. But the truth is, the most beautiful version of you is the one that is authentic, the one who admits when they are tired, the one who cries when they are hurting, the one who asks for help when they feel weak, the one who chooses truth over perfection. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a strength few dare to practice. And when you choose yourself, you give yourself permission to be real. Choosing yourself also means learning the art of letting go of people who cannot meet you where you're going, letting go of dreams that no longer align with who you are now, letting go of blame, guilt, resentment, and every story that convinces you you're not enough. Letting go isn't failure, it is freedom, and the moment you release what weighs you down, you rise into what you were always meant to become. You may think that choosing yourself will make you lonely, and in the beginning it might, because when you raise your standards, the wrong people fall away. When you set boundaries, not everyone will clap. When you prioritize your peace, chaos will feel threatened. But loneliness is not the absence of people. Loneliness is the absence of self. And when you choose yourself, you begin filling a space inside you that no person, no relationship, no achievement could ever fill. That is the kind of fullness that no one can take away from you. This journey is a return to your true self. The one who existed before the world told you who you should be. The one who had dreams before fear interrupted. The one who believed before heartbreak taught you to doubt. The one who felt deeply before life convinced you to numb. Choosing yourself is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering someone you lost along the way. You deserve to take your life back, to reclaim your voice, to rewrite your narrative, to choose choices that honor your soul, to walk paths that align with your truth. You deserve to stop settling for almost love, almost respect, almost happiness. You deserve fullness, not fragments. You deserve peace that doesn't require suffering. You deserve a life that feels like love when you wake up in the morning. And let me remind you of something. You are capable of beginning again. No matter what you've lost, no matter who walked away, no matter what didn't work out, no matter how long you've been carrying your pain, you are capable of rebuilding a life that feels like yours. You are capable of growing beyond the limits you once believed in. You are capable of choosing yourself even if you were never taught how. You are capable of healing even if the wounds are deep. You are capable of rising even if life tried to break you. You are capable, always capable, of becoming the person you needed all along. Life will not always give you what you hoped for, but it will always give you what you need to grow. The people who hurt you taught you strength. The moments that broke you taught you resilience. The closed doors redirected you. The disappointments refined you. The pain awakened you. Everything you survived prepared you to choose yourself with more clarity, more courage, more conviction. And you did survive. You survived moments you didn't think you could. You survived nights that felt endless. You survived heartbreaks that split your soul open. You survived losing people you thought you couldn't live without. You survived versions of yourself that you no longer recognize. You survived, and that means you are stronger than you think. You survived the versions of yourself that were built out of fear. You survived the chapters where you silenced your own voice to keep the peace. You survived the moments where the world underestimated you, dismissed you, overlooked you, and now, because you survived all of that, you owe it to yourself to choose differently, to choose boldly, to choose intentionally. To choose yourself not as a last resort, but as the foundation of your life. There comes a time when you realize that healing is not about erasing what happened. It is about reclaiming who you became because of it. You are not defined by the pain. You are defined by the courage it took to rise from it. You are not shaped by the people who walked away. You are shaped by the strength you gained learning to stand on your own. You are not limited by the opportunities you missed. You are propelled forward by the ones you create when you finally trust your own path. Choosing yourself means stepping into your power, even when your past convinces you that you have none. There will be days when you question your worth, when the world feels too heavy, when nothing makes sense, when your heart feels tired, when your mind feels overwhelmed, and on those days, choosing yourself will look like giving yourself grace. It will look like pausing. It will look like breathing through the chaos. It will look like treating yourself with the same compassion you give to everyone else. Choosing yourself is not only for the days you feel strong, it is especially for the days you feel broken. And here's something most people don't talk about. Sometimes choosing yourself means disappointing others. It means saying no when people expect a yes. It means honoring your energy when others demand your time. It means choosing solitude when others want company. It means building boundaries that protect your peace even if someone calls them selfish. It means walking away from conversations, environments, and relationships that drain you. Not because you're heartless, not because you're cold, not because you're ungrateful, but because you finally understand that your well-being is not up for negotiation. Every time you choose yourself, you break a generational pattern. Many of us were raised to believe that sacrifice is love, that silence is strength, that endurance is dignity, that suffering is noble, but choosing yourself teaches a new lesson. Love is presence, not sacrifice. Strength is honesty, not silence. Dignity is saying no, not enduring what harms you. And life is not meant to be endured. It is meant to be lived. In the United States, the pressure to be constantly productive is real. People measure success by how busy they are, how many things they juggle, how much they achieve. But productivity without purpose is just exhaustion. And exhaustion is not a badge of honor. You don't need to run at the speed of the world to keep up with your worth. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to be on all the time. Choosing yourself means you allow yourself to rest without guilt. It means you redefine success by how peaceful your heart feels, not how full your calendar is. Choosing yourself means you stop waiting for someone else to save you. No partner, no friend, no parent, no mentor, no stranger is responsible for fixing the parts of your life that feel broken. Yes, people can support you, guide you, encourage you. But no one can walk into your heart and teach it how to love itself. No one can climb into your mind and silence the doubts. No one can enter your soul and awaken your purpose. That work belongs to you. And when you begin it, you become unstoppable. Your life starts changing the moment you stop negotiating your worth with people who cannot afford it. You start glowing in ways that confuse those who once doubted you. You start attracting people who value your presence instead of taking advantage of your giving nature. You start stepping into rooms you once felt unworthy of. You start speaking up for yourself. You start dreaming bigger. You start trusting yourself again. You start living instead of surviving. Choosing yourself also means forgiving yourself. Forgiving the mistakes you made when you didn't know better. Forgiving the times you settled for less. Forgiving the moments you stayed too long. Forgiving the version of you who didn't know how to choose differently. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past. It is about freeing the future. And when you forgive yourself, you open the door to becoming who you were always meant to be. There will be moments when you doubt your journey, when the loneliness of choosing yourself feels heavy, when the world questions your decisions, when old habits tempt you to go back to places you've already healed from. In those moments, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself that peace is worth the sacrifice. Remind yourself that you didn't choose yourself to impress the world. You chose yourself to save your soul. And choose yourself again and again and again. Your life will not change because of one big decision. It will change because of the small decisions you make every single day. Decisions to speak kindly to yourself. Decisions to set boundaries. Decisions to let go of what hurts. Decisions to pursue what lights you up. Decisions to rest when you're tired. Decisions to rise when you fall. Decisions to honor your heart. Decisions to trust your intuition. Decisions to start over. Decisions to keep going. Decisions to choose yourself even when it feels unfamiliar. Choosing yourself fills your life with a quiet kind of strength. The kind that doesn't need to shout. The kind that doesn't need validation. The kind that doesn't need applause. It's a strength rooted in self-awareness, self-respect, and self-love. It's the strength of someone who knows their worth without asking the world to confirm it. The journey is not easy, but it is worth it, because when you finally choose yourself, every part of your life begins to align. Your relationships become healthier, your mind becomes clearer, your heart becomes lighter. Your dreams become louder, your path becomes brighter, and why our soul finally feels at home, you start to see yourself differently. No longer as someone who has to earn love, but as someone who deserves it simply by being. You stop accepting the bare minimum because you finally understand your value. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You stop hiding the parts of you that once felt too loud or too soft or too much. You stop seeking comfort in the places that once wounded you. You stop returning to people who only love the version of you that made their lives easier. You stop diluting yourself to fit into spaces that were never built for your authenticity. Choosing yourself means rising into your truth, and truth is powerful. It scares those who built their stories around your silence. It unsettles those who benefited from your lack of boundaries. It confuses those who expected you to remain small. But your truth is not meant to please them. Your truth is meant to free you. There is a quiet revolution that takes place inside you the day you choose yourself. It begins with a whisper, a realization that you can no longer live on autopilot. That you can no longer betray your soul for the comfort of familiarity. That you can no longer pretend you're fine when your heart is aching for change. That you can no longer carry stories that no longer fit who you are becoming. And slowly, that whisper becomes a voice, and that voice becomes strength, and that strength becomes transformation. When you choose yourself, you start rebuilding your life from the inside out. You stop decorating the cage and begin searching for the key. You stop numbing your pain and begin listening to what it's trying to teach you. You stop pouring into people who let your love spill onto the floor. You stop waiting for permission to shine. You stop living small because your spirit was never meant to fit into the shadows. The United States is a place where millions come searching for something: opportunity, freedom, reinvention. But the greatest reinvention doesn't happen when you change your surroundings. It happens when you change your relationship with yourself. And you don't need a new country, a new city, or a new environment to begin that process. You need a new choice, your own choice, the choice to honor your journey instead of running from it. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it is responsible. It is how you protect your mental health. It is how you nurture your purpose. It is how you build a life that feels meaningful. It is how you create boundaries that preserve your energy. It is how you teach others how to treat you. It is how you break cycles of pain that run generations deep. It is how you become someone your future self will thank you for. And choosing yourself does not mean you walk alone. It means you walk with people who walk with you, not behind you, not ahead of you, not in your way, but beside you. People who see your growth and celebrate it. People who understand your boundaries and honor them. People who nourish your soul instead of draining it. People who push you to rise higher instead of holding you back. When you choose yourself, the right people stay, the wrong people fall away, and the ones who belong will always find you. Sometimes the hardest person to choose is the one in the mirror, because that person knows your flaws. That person knows your insecurities. That person knows your fears, your mistakes, your darkest moments. But that person also knows your resilience. That person knows your strength. That person knows your heart. That person knows the storms you carried quietly. That person knows the battles you fought alone. Choosing yourself means loving that person fully, without conditions, without hesitation, without shame. There will be moments in your life that feel like endings, moments where everything you built collapses, moments where the people you trusted betray you, moments where the dreams you chased fall apart, moments where you stand in the ruins of your old life wondering what's left. But those moments, as painful as they are invitations. They are invitations to rebuild, to rise, to choose yourself not because the world is kind, but because you are strong. You are stronger than the heartbreak, stronger than the disappointment, stronger than the silence, stronger than the fear, stronger than the loneliness, stronger than the moments that almost broke you. And choosing yourself is how you honor that strength. It is how you honor the version of you who survived when survival seemed impossible. Choosing yourself also means dreaming again. Not the dreams you once created out of fear, or the dreams you adopted to impress others, or the dreams you chased because the world expected you to. Choosing yourself means dreaming the dreams that set your soul on fire. The dreams that keep you awake at night, not with anxiety, but with excitement. The dreams that scare you in the best way. The dreams that align with your purpose. The dreams that feel like truth. Maybe you walked away from your dreams because someone told you they were unrealistic. Maybe life got heavy. Maybe you didn't believe in yourself. Maybe you forgot your magic, but your dreams haven't forgotten you. They are waiting for you to choose yourself so they can return. And once you choose yourself, the door to possibility swings wide open. You begin to realize that you don't need certainty to move forward. You don't need approval to take the next step. You don't need validation to shine. You don't need permission to become who you were always meant to be. You don't need to know the entire path. You just need to take the first step. And when you take that first step for yourself, life begins to meet you halfway. Choosing yourself will change everything. It will change the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you think, the way you love, the way you work, the way you dream, the way you show up in relationships, the way you protect your peace, the way you allow yourself to be seen. The way you trust yourself, the way you honor your truth. Choosing yourself softens you in the right places and strengthens you in the others. It makes you kinder, not weaker, clearer, not harsher, more grounded, not more distant. It turns your pain into wisdom. It turns your heartbreak into courage. It turns your scars into power. It turns your silence into a voice. And when you finally choose yourself, truly and deeply, the world does not become easier. But you become unshakable, and maybe that is what choosing yourself truly looks like. Understanding that every time you decide to keep going, even when nobody is watching, even when applause is nowhere to be found, you are building a quiet, unshakable strength within you. It is the strength that does not need validation to exist. It is the strength that does not depend on someone else calling you worthy. It is the strength that grows in silence, in struggle, in late night moments when you whisper to yourself, "I will not give up on me." Choosing yourself is not loud, it is not dramatic, it does not always come with fireworks or a triumphant soundtrack in the background. Sometimes it looks like getting out of bed when your heart feels heavy. Sometimes it looks like forgiving yourself for yesterday. Sometimes it looks like saying no to someone you love because you finally realized you deserve to be included in the list of people you care for. And sometimes it looks like dreaming again, even after the world tried to break your spirit. There will be people who misunderstand you. There will be people who say you've changed, and you have, because change is the price of choosing yourself. There will be people who call you selfish for setting boundaries. But a life without boundaries slowly becomes a life without identity. And you were not born to lose yourself in the noise of the world. You were born to become the loudest voice inside your own soul. You see, the world doesn't always hand you permission to rise. Sometimes you must create it. Sometimes you must build your wings in the very storm you were supposed to drown in. Sometimes you must decide that you are worth the risk, the effort, the journey. Because no matter who walked away, no matter who doubted you, no matter who failed to see your magic the moment you choose yourself, the universe begins to rearrange itself in your favor. Choosing yourself is not just an act, it is a revolution. It is the moment you tell your fears, "You don't own me anymore." It is the moment you tell your past, "You can't define me anymore." It is the moment you tell your dreams, "I am coming for you, no matter how long it takes." And it is the moment you finally tell your heart, "I am here for you. I will not abandon you again." There will be days when the road feels endless. There will be days when you question everything, your strength, your purpose, your value. But even on those days, choosing yourself means showing up, even if all you can offer is your presence. Sometimes surviving is an act of courage. Sometimes breathing through the pain is bravery. And sometimes staying true to yourself in a world that wants to mold you into someone else is the greatest victory of all. You are not behind, you are not late, you are not broken. You are a work in progress, a story still unfolding, a masterpiece still being painted by the brush of resilience. And the moment you choose yourself is the moment you become the artist of your own destiny. So when the world grows quiet and you find yourself alone with your thoughts, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what would happen if, just for today, I put myself first? What would happen if you stopped running from your truth? What would happen if you finally allowed yourself to bloom, even if no one else believes it's your season yet? The truth is, nothing changes until you do. And you begin to change the moment you choose yourself unapologetically, wholeheartedly, fearlessly. Because choosing yourself is the beginning of healing. Choosing yourself is the beginning of freedom. And choosing yourself is the beginning of the life you were always meant to live. When you choose yourself, you become unstoppable. You become unbreakable. You become the version of you that you once thought only existed in dreams. And one day, when you look back at your journey, you will realize that choosing yourself was not just a decision, it was the turning point that transformed everything. Say it softly, say it loudly, say it every morning. Say it every night. I choose myself.